What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be a little bit different. First I'm going to show you the numbers on the firing range, then I'll talk about the build, and then afterwards I'll show you guys some nice gameplay. I've got legendary rogue agents that we killed, I've got legendary chungas, and all that jazz. A lot of fun. This build is the build that I used from floors 81 all the way to 99. Well, actually, technically 100, because the first half of floor 100 is still technically the same. We all know that. So technically I use this build from 81 to 100 with no problems at all. I love this build. The only caveat to it is I would say if a chunga on legendary is rushing you, back off. Because I had to find out the hard way that the hives that come out of the chunga's back are really lethal. Anyways, that's a different story. So we're at the firing range. This is going to be all about my legendary skill build. This is a hardwired build through and through. And yeah, let's just show you the numbers. Enough talking, let's show you the numbers. So let's just get a close enemy, say 5 meters. Nothing too crazy. We're on invulnerable elite. So what you do, step 1, throw your hive. Step 2, destroy your hive. Step 3, place the turret. And step 4, shoot the target. 208,702 on my assault turret. Yeah, 208. Isn't that nuts? Now obviously that's with in sync procced, and that's with overcharge. But besides that, that's it. So yeah. Let's just stop it there. Hold on. Come on, turret. Calm down, bro. Alright. So let's go talk about this build. This is a skill build like you guys just saw. I can hit up to 208,000 per bullet on my assault turret. Quite insane, I must admit. But like all videos, let's start at the beginning. What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be my legendary skill build. Shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. Now here she is in all of her glory. This is my legendary skill build. I am using 4 pieces of hardwired, 1 piece of Wyvern wear, and a pair of BTSU gloves. For my weapons, I am using the Pestilence for the stacks to try to get their armor down. I am using the Apartment just in case I lose ammo from the Pestilence, because we all know that those directives will kick you in the butt every now and then. But primarily, if I'm just sitting there using my skills, I can use my pistol with in sync. But before I do a deep dive into all that, let's start at the top. Gunner specialization. I'm using the gunner specialization because it gives me quite a few things. It gives me armor on kill. It gives me bonus armor every time I pop a armor kit. It gives me a foam grenade, which is really good for the hunters. It's really good for rogue agents, and it's just really good in general when it comes to legendaries, because what you want to do is you want to focus fire certain enemies before they outflank you and kill you. So that's what I use for this. For the weapons, I'm using the Pestilence as my primary. Nothing special, 65k on that total damage. I use this just to get the stacks and try to get their armor down a little bit so that my skills can do the rest. For the secondary, I'm using the Apartment. This is the named MPX with perfectly measured. Reason I'm using this is for burst damage. I'm not using this as a primary weapon. I'm really not even using it technically as a secondary. This is my last resort, because with certain directives you might not have enough ammo. So if I can't use my Pestilence and an enemy is rushing me, I don't want to use my pistol. So I'll use the Apartment, try to get that burst damage out there, get their armor down, and then try to, get help from teammates or my skills. I'm telling you right now, this is not a solo build. I would not recommend running this in solo. This is most definitely certified and confirmed. It works all the way through Legendary, all the way up until the Hunters. The only reason why I say that is because I highly recommend everybody use some sort of DPS when it comes to the Hunters. But besides that, skill build all day. Sit back, let your skills do the work. You don't go down, you're not wasting armor kits. Just let the skills do the talking. And then of course for my sidearm, I am using the named card pistol, the TDI Custom. Reason for this is, technically it's only for in sync, and that's because obviously I can't roll in sync on my Pestilence. I could have in sync on my secondary if I wanted it, but I don't really care, so I put it on my pistol. But basically basically hitting an enemy with this weapon will grant me 15% skill damage, but if I am basically getting skill damage while getting weapon damage, it'll double those damage buffs. So then I get 30% skill damage and I get 30% weapon damage. That's how I'm getting up to that 208 per bullet on that assault turret. Really cool, a lot of fun to use. I think you could probably get the numbers up even higher. My problem is that I'm using hardwired, and with that I am using the backpack for hardwired. So you could technically take this off, do like a 3-piece hardwired. You could probably throw something else on there with a nice talent and get more damage that way. But as you could see, this thing does plenty of damage without it. So 4-piece hardwired, 1 pair of BTSU gloves, and a Wyvern wear chest piece with glass cannon. Now, that was a little overview of the gear pieces, but let's do a little deeper dive. So starting with the mask. This is the hardwired mask. Now the hardwired gear set bonuses with this build, I get 15% skill haste, 15% skill damage, 30% repair skills, and then with the 4-piece, I get the feedback loop talent. Now, the backpack actually gives me a talent that amplifies that. So let's talk about it. So feedback loop. Whenever your skill is canceled or you use it completely, your other skill cooldown is automatically reduced by 30 seconds. A majority of the time, this will make sure your other skill comes back immediately. It's really nice because when you're using a skill build, your cooldowns are not 30 seconds. No, they're not 30 seconds. And with that, you basically get your skills back immediately, which is really nice when you run into those crazy directives. That's why I have the 4-piece hardwired on, is because you get those random directives and then all of a sudden you can only use one skill or, what have you. But with the feedback loop, it kind of overrides that and it gives me back my skills immediately. What I do is every time I enter a new floor or every time I enter a new combat zone, I will throw my hive out there, destroy it. Because of my BTSU gloves, I get that overcharge, and then what I do is I put out my turret, let it do all that damage, and within maybe 2 or 3 seconds, I've already got my hive charges back, and then I can use that on top of it. It's a really fun skill build to use. This is very well rounded. The only thing I would say is if you're not comfortable with glass cannon, I'm sorry. But that's just how you get that much skill damage out there. The more skill damage you can do, the less often those enemies will go past your skills to kill you, the less often they'll flank you, the less often a lot of things. So you want to have your skills do as much damage as possible, especially if you are the skill build. So just try to focus on that. The more skill damage you're doing, the more likely the enemies will die quicker, the less likely they'll flank you, and the less likely you'll die. So technically it's increasing your sustainability. Now going back to the hardwired mask. Well, actually, the backpack, that talent, it decreases the cooldown of the feedback loop. So I can do this every 10 seconds. So like I said, if you throw out your hive, destroy it, you get your overcharge. Your overcharge will give you back your hive charges, almost instantly. It's pretty crazy. So you could sit here and do this over and over and over, and you won't have both your skills on cooldown ever. You'll always have at least one skill active at all times, doing damage. The more damage you do, the faster you can clear it, so on and so forth. Now, back to the mask. Hardwired mask, attributes, skill tier. For the core attribute, I rolled skill damage at 10%, and then for the mod slot, I threw on there skill haste at 11.2%. For the backpack, hardwired, again, skill tier, I rolled on there max skill damage, 10%. And then for the mod, again, skill haste at 11.1%. Go down to the knee pads, hardwired knee pads, again, skill tier and max skill damage, 10%. And then the fourth and final piece of hardwired, the holster, again, skill tier and skill damage at 10%. I wanted to go through those first just so we knocked them out. Now these other two pieces I'm going to have to explain a little bit. Now for this one, this is the chest piece for Wyvern wear. It says on there replica because I actually had to craft this one myself. Now the reason I am using Wyvern wear, the brand set bonus gives you 10% skill damage. You want that. You need that, and that's how you get up to the 208,000 per bullet on an assault drone or assault turret. So for this one, I had to keep making them until I found one with glass cannon. You want glass cannon because of that amplified damage. That amplified damage does go to your skills, so just remember that. You can use other talents all day. However, for your skill damage, you want glass cannon. I can't stress that enough. Now, for the attributes, you have one skill tier for the core. I rolled skill damage on there at 10%. It came with hazard protection. I wish it had skill haste on there, but it's hazard. And then for the mod slot, I threw on there skill haste 11.2%. And then finally, the BTSU gloves. Now, these gloves are pretty much a must with this build, especially the way I'm running it. Reason being is that I throw out that hive to get that overcharge. You can see right here under the talent, let's see, grants 15% skill hive haste per skill tier. Yeah, we don't care about that. However, it says right there, detonating a hive will refresh your skill cooldowns and grant you overcharge for 15 seconds. That's what you want. We are skill tier 6, and every time I destroy the hive, I do get that overcharge. Well, not every time, but whenever I have these BTSU gloves active. Now, allies receiving this effect are unable to benefit from it again for 2 minutes. So you have to remember that. You get the overcharge for about 15 seconds. So tell your teammates when you're about to do the overcharge, just so that they know within those 15 seconds, they need to either deploy their skills or do whatever it is they want to do, because once that overcharge is gone, they lose it. So 15 seconds overcharge, you can do it every 2 minutes. Now for these gloves, they're not maxed out, but they're pretty close. You've got the skill tier for the core attribute, 11.9 for the skill haste, and 19.8 on the repair skills. We're not really using the repair skills, but we do want skill haste and skill damage on all pieces. All right, now with all that said and done, let's look at the skills. So here is my Stinger Hive. It is a tier 6. Now the Stinger Hive, I only have 18 charges. It does 1.1 million damage with 55k bleed damage. Now the tier 6 does give me more charges, damage, range, health, basically everything you need. Not too shabby. Now for the turret, sitting here, this is the base damage. And the base damage for the turret is 110,000. But remember, with the overcharge and and the in sync, it bumps it up there to 208. Pretty sick. Now let's finish up with the stat sheet. So for the weapon stats, this is for the Pestilence, 65k weapon damage, 10 crit chance, 43 crit damage, 65 headshot damage. It's pretty low because we're running a skill build. Now, offensive tab, 10% all weapon damage and 29% LMG damage. So I still get a little bit of damage downrange from my weapons. Going to the defensive tab, again, nothing special because we're running a skill build. 726k armor with 72.6k armor on kill and 291 max health. Now the explosive resistance and hazard is due to my watch level, so just be, cognizant of that. And finally, my skills. I have 70% skill haste, but obviously when it ramps that up to that overcharge, I believe you get up to 500% skill haste. It's actually really sick. And then for the turret, again, for this one I have 70% skill haste, but that's because of the mods. If you go to the mods, I have damage on the Stinger Hive, Stinger charges, and health. Reason being is I have nothing else there. Now for the turret, I have duration. Far left is duration. You could put health on there, but over 5.5 million health, it's still pretty good. Now I've only got 4.5 damage on the middle attachment, so you could probably bump that up a little bit. And then for the carbon barrel, again, skill haste. You could probably get damage there too. This isn't the best skill build in the world. However, it does a lot of damage. And this is making legendaries super easy for me. All right, I think that's it. For all of you that did not get it, let me test it one more time, show you all that damage, and then I'll show you a few gameplay clips and get you out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this legendary skill build. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. Support. And yeah. Let's see what we can do here. So what I do is I put on Invulnerable Elite just so that I know it's the tankiest thing here. And then I can just look at my damage numbers. Again, let's do 5 meters, nothing crazy. Invulnerable Elite, 5 meters. All right, let's test this sucker out. So I'm throwing my hive, and then you destroy the hive. There we go, overcharge. Got the turret, shoot my target, and there we go. 208, oops, we're 208, 702. You can see it right there. That's on my assault turret. And it's a 4-piece hardwired build. Yeah, I love it. Anyways, you guys, hope you enjoy it. I've got some rogue agents encounters, some legendary encounters, and all that jazz. I am Kamikazevondoom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Alright, two left. If you're just now joining us, we're on, what are we at, floor 94 with some rogue agents. Only got 2 of them left though, so let's see what happens here. I'm running my legendary skill build with my glass cannon, turret, and hive. I should have my hive back here in a second, and I'll show you guys what she do. There's only 2 left. Let's try to get them together. Alright, this one's going right. Alright, we've got them both around the same spot. Yeah, this one's about half armor. Okay, they're both half armor. Nice. And we've got them both in the corner now, so this should be a lot easier to focus. Try to get a better position though. This one pillar here in the middle of the room is blocking my turret pretty bad. Oop, out of ammo. Man, you gotta love those directives, right? Jesus. Alright, add a pestilence ammo. That's fine. I'll use the apartment. Alright, I've got my hive back. I kinda wanna push, man. Yeah, screw it. Pushing. Let's see what happens here. Hive's got him on bleed pretty good for a second there anyways. Yeah, he's almost down. Nice. GG, guys. Cool. There's the rogue agents on floor 94 with my legendary skill build. No one went down. No one did anything, really. We just killed them. On to the next one. Alright, you guys, if you're just now joining the stream, we did wipe on floor 98. So now we're back at 94. Still using the legendary skill build. Nothing's changed. Been pretty simple. The only problem we really ran into was the chungas have those hives. And the hives that come out of their backpack will really mess you up. So I think we just got way too close to those chungas. Looks like this chunk, we've got another chunga here and he's shooting somebody. What is this? Yo, hold up. 1, 2, 3. Yo, there's four heavies and they're all fighting each other. Yo, this is sick. Oh, there's that hive from the chunga I was talking about. Jesus. You see that? Alright, it looks like all the chungas are just fighting each other. Looks pretty cool. I guess this is going to be an easy floor. If you guys remember, I think I was playing on a different build. What build was I using? I was using my pistol build, that's right. And then I went up against the sledgehammer dude and the chunga fighting each other. But I've never seen this many chungas. And they're not even like coming at us. It's pretty legit, I must admit. But it's almost over. It's a nice little funny clip. I'll have to definitely add this later. This is just funny. Alright, they're all done. GG, guys. On to 95. That was pretty simple. Yeah, whatever. I'll kill that for the overcharge.